another episode of Wally's Kitchen. So guys, today we are doing a lifestyle vlog and I have a guest. Let her introduce herself.
Hi guys, my name is Hilda and today I'm a guest on Wally's Kitchen and we're going to talk about toxic relationships. And we're going to break this down through a series of questions. So let's see how it goes on.
Yeah. So for starters, we want to define what is a toxic relationship.
Mm-hmm.
What do you understand by the term toxic relationship?
Yes. I think a relationship with anyone is supposed to make you a better person.
Yes.
So when you say something is toxic, it's either you are in a situation where you are not able to be fully and truly yourself,
yes,
or you are in fear, something that is just not good even for your mental health.
Yeah.
I think that is how I would loosely define a toxic relationship. Yes.
Personally, I think it's a relationship whereby you feel unsupported, you feel misunderstood,
Yes.
or you feel attacked by anyone whom you're close with. And this relationship, it's not only a romantic relationship. We can break it down now into different forms of relationships that we want to talk about. So for starters, we can say, let's talk about a friendship relationship that is toxic. Yeah, you know?
Yes.
What can you say about that?
Oh my God. In fact, just the way you say that we need to break it down, I think the misconception is always that a toxic relationship has to be a situation where it's something that somebody that you're romantically involved with, but people do not look at how a friendship, a mother, a father, a relationship with a parent or a child and relatives, like how you can be in a toxic cycle with people that you're even close to, and not necessarily a boyfriend or a spouse or a partner. And so I feel like that's a very important topic. These are the things that people miss when they're talking about these kinds of relationships. So maybe you can give us an example of how you can be in a toxic cycle with a friend. Yes.
Well, that's a deep one. And in most cases, it happens when we really don't know. But come to think of it, you just sit down and see, wow, this friend I had, this was a toxic friend. Such kind of people are, for example, if I can give one example, you might have a friend, like you find yourself, you're the only person who keeps checking. You're the only one who keeps checking, who keeps calling. It's all about them. When you call them, it's all about them. There's no one day like they'll just sit down and say, let me check on my friend. Let me check on how they're doing mentally, physically, emotionally. So it's like you're the only person who is always there for that person. But for them, they just take you for granted. Unknowingly.
Wow, that's deep. That's deep. Because looking back, I feel like personally I've been in such situations where it's just one person giving and the other person taking, and then you get to a point where that friendship just has to exhaust you. And then when you sit down and look back, you're like, why do I feel this way about this particular person? And it's not somebody that you hate or you've had an argument with, but with time it drains you. That's very deep.
So that's friendship.
Then
we can talk slightly on parents to children.
Yeah,
because I've watched different types of stories and shows. Some people have toxic parents. Some parents can really be toxic, not in any bad way, but you find that you want to do something for someone, like a parent, but they're not appreciative. Some parents don't appreciate. I've seen stories, people saying like they've had toxic mothers, they've never felt loved since the day they were born. Sometimes it's through situations that maybe a mom or a dad has been through when giving birth to the child, trying to raise up the child. So you find out the way they bring you up is seriously a big problem.
Wow. Because I think I feel like that is such a huge topic, especially in the context of African culture. Because we are taught to respect your mother, respect your father. So growing up, growing up, you find that looking back now that we are aware of just mental health, we are being taught now you can say no, you can say this, you have a right to speak up. When you look back over your life, you have so much trauma that you've carried from childhood because there were situations where you are truly being oppressed, but because this is somebody like an uncle and aunt, this is somebody who is like an authority figure in your life, you cannot resist. And I think there are so many cases where children have been molested, have been abused by people so close to them. But because this is an uncle, even if I go say this, like it's such a deep sensitive issue, especially for the African culture. I think that's even a topic, another series of its own that maybe in future you can just go back and look at it. Yeah, it's very important. And even right now in this society that we're living in, we need to teach our children the power of no. The power of saying, you know, you can say no. It's okay to say no. You can do it in a respectful way. You can do it without demeaning the other person. But we have to teach our children boundaries.
Wow, that's so powerful. Okay, so we've touched on friendship. We've touched on parents to children, relatives, uncles, children. Then now let's do the last part: ministerial relationships. The relationships we have in places of worship, how we relate with each other. I think there's, in some places, you might also find some people who are toxic. Wow. Say something about that.
There's something called church hurt. Church hurt. And I know there are so many people who have so many stories in ministry, like you went to a particular church and something happened to you, not something like you are, you know, like to your body or whatever, but there's something I've noticed in ministry where there is this sonship, daughtership relationship where your pastor can be your spiritual father. But in many cases where you are not, if you find that you're in a place where spiritually you're not aware of yourself, if you have not maybe like gone deep in word, in fasting, in prayer, and so many things, a man of God, woman of God can use the Bible to manipulate you. And a lot of people have been left in like situations where they want nothing to do with God because of such things that happened to them in ministry. I think you have a few experiences of people who have come to you. Maybe you can share those.
Okay, in most cases, like the few people who have come to me, most of them, it's not like about someone in the authority who has had them. It's how they feel like they can't connect. They try to connect, like you try to join a group or a team or a department. Then it becomes so hard for you like to connect. You try, but it's like there are cliques here and there. So it becomes really, really hard. But at the end of the day, we need the grace of God. We need the wisdom of the Holy Spirit to guide us as per what to do with this. So I want us to talk about signs of toxic relationships. In all these categories we've discussed, what are the signs that you will see and say, this one is a toxic relationship?
I think the first thing, like we were talking about in terms of boundaries, there are people who do not respect boundaries. So for example, you're my friend in the friendship category. If you're my friend and it has been just this relationship where I give, you take. When it gets to a place where you're like, oh, please come through for me with this, and I'm like, no, then you start feeling like, oh, why are you saying no to me now? And you have always done this to me. Well, maybe I'm just in a place where I've started, doing this self-discovery journey, and I'm like, no, I've been giving away too much, and I have nothing left for myself. So I think the first thing is, when you say no, the way people react to your boundaries, the way people react to your, you can't do this, you can only come up to here, their reaction. So let's say lack of support. People don't support you in your decisions, in your no's, in your yes, things like that. I think that is what I would say is one of the signs of, a toxic relationship. Yes.
Do you think toxic communication can be the same as lack of support?
I think so.
The way you communicate, maybe someone might feel your no is not a good thing. What do you think?
I think people respond. People hear and then they respond. So sometimes I can say to you, hey, what you did to me is not right. But because you're not used to people having, you've been around people who don't have boundaries, so you will take that like, why am I being rude, or why am I not being supportive, or maybe I'm being unkind. But in the actual sense, I'm just saying, hey, this is too much for me. I can only pour, like what they say, you can't pour from an empty cup. I can't give you what I don't have. But it's how you receive it that matters. Yes.
Then another thing I think is the issue of controlling behavior. Some friends, some people who just want to control you. Like you can't make your own decisions. You can't make your own moves. They're always there like to put a stop, either to put a stop or to discourage you in one way or another. And I think for me that's very toxic.
Yeah, that's very toxic. And it's even very difficult to even share your dreams and your visions with people in your cycle. You always have to find you like, oh, I want this, I desire this, but you have to hide it. And that's why people these days, I see this meme going around of like, know your cycle. You don't have to hide this. I don't know, there's something that they say about how when you have a vision, you have to have people around you that support you without jealousy. Like they just want you to win,
Yes.
and without them wanting anything in return.
Yeah, true.
Yes. So in a toxic situation, you can't be yourself. You can't express your needs, your desires, the things that you want to be. It's very difficult because it always feels like it's a competition.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you want to do that, then let me do this. You know.
What about patterns of dishonesty as we wind up? Especially, I think this relates to couples. Yeah?
Yes, mostly.
Yeah. Patterns of dishonesty. I think it's toxic.
Yeah.
To me, I can say it's very toxic. Like someone does this, you forgive them. You know, you can't keep asking for forgiveness a million times.
No.
I always say the best way to apologize is a changed behavior.
Yes.
Change your behavior, then I'll know like
that you're committed to even working on making yourself better. Yeah.
So I think for today, let's do this. This is part 1.
Yes.
Yeah. So guys, this is part 1 of toxic relationships. Stay tuned for part 2 next time we meet. I've been your host, Grace Wally, and
I'm Hilda.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you're new here, kindly subscribe, comment, share, so that anytime we're doing such vlogs, you're among the first people to be notified. Adios.